Guys, one of the favorite things I do on this channel is I get to unbox new Nitros for the channel. I get to play with them, beat them up, have fun, fix them if they break them, but the coolest part is we get to take them out of the box. Guys, we got the Hyper SS Truggy Caged Edition with the Maxstar 30 in it. Very, very cool. Very well packaged in the box. Very cool stuff. Now, y'all know I'm not a very big box art kind of guy, but it does have C-hubs on it, 150cc tank with a polished pipe. It's showing the radio box, which is funny because if you look closely, this thing has Savox servos in it. And I really don't think this thing has 240 bucks worth of servos in it, but it is showing front stabilizer. The box is funny because, let me turn this thing around. Hobao, they use one box for both the electric and the Nitro, and the body Truggy and the cage Truggy. So in the box you get the Truggy, the tires are already on it, you get a remote, you get the wing, you get whatever this green thing is. I guess it's a place to put your bubble gum. Got your air filter elements in there. Looks like the air filter's already on there. You got your instructions. Tells you got your instructions, your antenna tube, your body decal, and your glow plug, which is cool because they ship this thing without a glow plug. Let's go ahead and get this thing out the box, guys. What's in the box? Nothing's in the box. There is our Truggy. Guys, check this thing out. She's got a nice polished pipe on her. She's got a big fuel tank. She's got, looks like thread aluminum shocks, and looks like it's got hybrid caps on it too. Plastic ends with aluminum caps on it, which is kind of cool. Gives you a little bit of flex, a little bit of shock absorption. The cage looks really cool. Yeah, I'm not going to be terribly excited to scratch that up. She got big old Truggy tires on her. Looks like she's got a 5mm 6061 chassis. She's a single speed. She's kind of cool. She got dog bones in the back, dog bones in the front. Yeah, that was answered my question. Hobao servos. This thing is like really cool. Really, really cool. You gotta admit, guys, she is a good looking rig. I mean, she's suspension, fairly stiff, kind of like it. No head sticker, but we do have a head bag with a rubber band, so that's kind of cool. We got a Polestar 30 turbo plug motor, and this thing's called an easy pull. You know what I call an easy pull? A roto start. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to go ahead and take the cage off this thing, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to figure out what we got to do to put that roto start in there. So guys, checking this thing out, it looks like we literally have 4 screws, and we are going to have the cage rotated up on this truck. I don't see anything else, and the front definitely looks like a hinge. I mean, I do realize I could read the instructions, but we ain't doing all that. I'm gonna get these 4 screws up, and any luck, Lord willing, the creek don't rise, this thing is gonna come right up. And that's gonna give us access because, guys, we're gonna pull this brand new engine before we do anything. We're gonna pull the engine, yep, before we even put batteries in this thing. All right, guys, to facilitate this engine pull, looks like it's pretty easy. It's no different than any other buggy, Truggy, or any flat pan car, RC car chassis ever, except this one's got that little support on the air filter. You get the air filter out the way, grab your flush cutters. We're just gonna clip this tie wrap. We're gonna put another one on there. Well, she does have the little, I think it's a 6mm restrictor on that thing. Once you get that out, we're gonna go ahead and pop out our throttle linkage. Get that out of the way, get her exhaust spring out. Let's go ahead and give her a turn. Oh, I love the sound of those new tires. So we'll pop our fuel line off and kind of work our exhaust off. It should flex enough to get it off. It's probably not going to be all that easy, but well, if it's easy, it really ain't worth having. So let's grab us a 2.5mm. I'm sure it's a 2mm, and it is. We're going to pop our muffler set screw off of our hanger. And so it tells me once we get it off the hanger, it she'll be a whole lot more, that's just tools. Get our pressure line off. And what are we hanging up now? All right, cool. That's out the way. Make a pile of parts. Swap this over to a 3mm. Get her underneath. Oh wow, these are they're 2.5s. I got that one hiding over here. I don't know, forever, often Hobao have always used 3mm engine screws, but evidently not this time. Oop. Non-copious use of Loctite. In other words, it ain't got none. Well, it's going to get some blue before this engine goes back in. And guys, via law, one Hobao 30. So you might be wondering, why pull the motor out of a brand new car? Because this thing right here, I had one car before, and for some reason, every time you give it a yank, this thing rotates. This doesn't have a cup on the bottom of it. It winds up going through your fingers, and it hurts. So what we want to do, what we've got for the project, I got Hobao roto start backplate, which will actually make it start right out of the corner. So this thing will mount kind of like this. Now my concern with this is, you see your driven gear has this little thin orange plastic spacer, and it's got orange plastic collars to hold everything down. Now, what I prefer is an LR32 or a LRP rotor start, and it'll definitely clear the exhaust for where it's at, because the exhaust kind of comes over the rotor start to begin with. All right, guys, we're going to try to screw this one up live if at all possible. So let's go ahead and get this thing off and see what we're working with. And of course, one's going to come off. I kind of like to keep them stuck in the oh wow, that thing jumped right off. Okay, so it's using, on the starter shaft, it's using a pilot hole to keep that pull start centered, which I don't see that being too much of an issue right now, but it's also got that little brass piece sticking out like that. So what we're going to do is see if this starter shaft will come out. And it does. There it goes. Oh wow, starter shaft actually has a pin. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to go with the Hobao, because this starter shaft that I have, which is 14mm, it'll go in, and it certainly turns the motor over quite well, but something tells me they put a locator pin in there for a reason. So we're going to have to go with something that I have a little bit of concern with, which is going to be that space, or going to be that little spacer right there. It'd be so cool if they made that thing out of, I don't know, maybe some type of sheet metal. Let's go and get it out and see what we're working with. And well, I guess they do give you the screws. They're not in a bag. They're just loose. So guys, based on heavy picture instructions, because it does not give you anything as far as written instructions, you're going to take the case which got your pinion gear in it. This is going to be your ring gear. You're going to pop out this Phillips head. You're going to take this little orange ring out, get it out of the way, and then you're going to split this thing. Then, based on what the picture is showing me, you're going to take this thing with the opening to the back, and you're going to push it in the front, just like that. And then you're going to lay, oops, let's do this one first. Yeah, we're going to do this one first. From there, all you're going to do is, with this back plate on the outside, you're just going to push it down. I guess you didn't have to do that because it clears. All right, cool. I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so much for instructions. You didn't have to take the screw or that collar off of, because it just slides right over the top of that gear. So, that being said, I got my Ooter Booter, not sponsored by anybody. I shouldn't have to say that, because, well, I'm not doing this for the product or the money. Give her a little squirt of udder butter on here, not much. It's going to be just flinging out, but I just figure, remember one of the channel mantras, a little lube never hurt. Get our back plate on. Get some screws in there. Now these do look a shade like, you know, 2.5 mil. So, which means they're going to be 2 mil. Get them started. Once you're started, sand them. Guys, if you don't know your tool, use your hand tools. Like, I know my tool, that last one's a little questionable, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten up my hand. Voila, one roto start installed. Guys, before we go any further, grab your low-C start. In case she not only turns over, make sure she turns over in the right direction, which is obviously going to be counterclockwise looking at the front. So let's go and get this thing installed. All right, guys, so I got everything back in. Motor bolts are Loctited, air filter's on, everything's tightened up here. Exhaust is back on, linkages are back on. So let's see what powers this thing. I mean, kind of based on the size of what I'm seeing, I'm almost positive this thing is going to wind up being a hump pack. Okay, how about four double A's? But if we got 4 double A's, that means our hump pack is surely going to fit it. Let's go ahead and plug us in. Turn our transmitter on. We'll talk about the transmitter in a minute. And all right. Steering, throttle, brake, and see if she's got a. She does not have a failsafe. So we're gonna have to be a little careful with this one, guys. But it's 2.4 gigs, so it should have pretty decent range. Just gonna get this thing back down, get her screwed back down, and then we'll see what we have for. Take a quick look at the receiver. We're not going to take it out. We're just going to. Oh wow, this thing has to come up to get the receiver out. I'm not saying weird, but I'm not saying not weird. All right, yeah, just a little Hobao. Looks like it's a 3-channel. We're using 2 with the power. All right, let's get this thing buttoned back up. Then we'll talk about doing a little bit of preheating. Because I'm not saying the bug's watching. I'm not saying the bug's not. But I'm not here to upset the bug. And I know you guys don't want to miss this, you know, putting a glow plug in. We get our plug in. We get some fuel in her. We go through the transmitter real quick. Tighten it, and it's a turbo plug, which means it's a -3 AN fitting. There's no gasket. The only advantage to a turbo plug is there's no gasket. You're a little bit less. All right, let's go through the transmitter real quick. So it looks like we got steering direction, throttle trim, steering trim. We've got expo on our steering, expo on our throttle. You got input adjustments up here, and it does everything a 2.4 gig kind of a cheapy transmitter do, but it don't feel too bad on the head. She does have a little wheel. All right, guys, 135 degrees. Something tells me it's now or never. And please excuse my air compressor that runs my auto repair shop next door. All right, so we got our heat. We got our plugs just a little bit loose. We got our beautiful brand new 20-year-old GS Racing glow plug wrench because I can't find my low-C right now. And we are going to run this thing on some Vice President. We're going to call it the JD Vance, which is the VP 2516. Plenty of oil, plenty of methanol, plenty of all the good. This one, I'm not going to prime with my little squirt bottle. We're actually plug the exhaust. We're going to take a look at this thing and watch her pump some fuel. And guys, that is an extremely long fuel line. So I set my throttle trim up a little bit, where I just got my throttle cracked. Let's see if she'll make some noise. Let's give her a little bit more prime. Give her a little more manual throttle. We have lost our glow plug wrench. Hang on. This thing has a little trouble getting a hold of turbo plugs for some reason, probably because the actual hex is a little bit deeper. All right, guys, first runs of the Hobao SST Truggy, the caged edition. Throttle steering check, throttle check, brake check. All right, let's see if she's going to make some noise. And don't fall over. Give it a little bit of throttle trim. We're going to check her steering trim first. Let's go ahead and bring that throttle trim back down. She ain't sounding bad. The only thing I've done so far, I've leaned out the low speed needle just a little bit. Oh yeah, she only has rear brakes. Yeah, if you guys see those front tires growing, she gonna need some a little bit of center diff tuning. Cut. Guys, my thoughts on this thing? I'll tell you what, she is nasty fast. That Hyper 30 turbo motor, she's nice. But before I do any much or go much further, I'm going to go ahead and pop that center diff out. probably put some 250, maybe some 500K in it. I'll probably just go 250. You don't want to go too nuts, but dude, she is diffing out real bad in the front. You need to raise the ride height a little bit, but other than that, lean her out a little bit, get a little more horsepower out of her. I got to run her fat and happy right now, but guys, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna give this thing 5 out of 5 stars. I mean, I think I paid like 600 bucks for this thing from Nitro Hobbies on eBay, and I'll tell you what, it is a lot of fun.